Clowns. Some people love them, and some people hate them. Clowns bring smiles to children's faces with balloon animals, sleight-of-hand magic tricks, and slapstick shenanigans like pies to the face. As an adult, clowns are just plain creepy. See what I mean?
Yes.
Do you feel creepy, Bob?
Yes.
You do feel creepy?
Yes.
What would a creepy clown say? Huh?
Yes.
What does a creepy clown say? What does a creepy clown say? Huh?
Yes.
Okay. One of the creepiest clowns to ever grace the silver screen is Art the Clown. Art first appeared in the horror anthology All Hallows Eve and made enough of an impression to get his own movie a few years later in the form of Terrifier. 2016's Terrifier has practically garnered cult status at this point. People love the movie, and they love creepy-ass Art. Personally, I wasn't a big fan of Terrifier, but Art the Clown, played by David Howard Thornton, definitely made an impression. I did a review of Terrifier a few years ago. I'll post a link to that review right here. Still, I was excited to see Terrifier 2, my only concern being the near 2.5-hour runtime, which seems a bit excessive for a movie like this. But excess and this burgeoning series go hand in hand, or rather, bloody stump in hand, or severed hand in severed hand. As a matter of fact, if you thought the bloodshed in Terrifier was excessive, Terrifier 2 wants you to hold its beer while it tosses a jar of acid in your face. Terrifier 2 is a vast improvement over the first film in terms of its overall story, characters, performances, score, pretty much everything. Writer and director Damien Leone seems to have learned from the mistakes of the first film, crafting a solid and realistic family drama around Art's over-the-top acts of butchery. Lauren LaVera is fantastic as Sienna, an artsy high schooler who's unfortunately drawn Art's attention. Sienna is instantly likable and sympathetic because her home life since the passing of her father has been a bit rocky. There's something going on between Sienna's family and Art, some kind of connection that's hinted at but never explored. Her younger brother Jonathan is obsessed with Art and wants to be Art for Halloween. Elliott Fullam plays Jonathan. He's a young actor and fellow YouTuber known for his channel, Little Punk People, where he's interviewed the likes of James Hetfield, Tom Araya, and Phil Anselmo. He's more successful than I am and probably half my age. I hate him. Things come to a head on Halloween night when Sienna, Jonathan, and their incredibly unlucky friends find themselves at the mercy of Art and his bag of toys. By toys, I mean all manner of rusty, blood-caked, and extremely sharp-looking implements. And boy, does he put those implements to work, just as Michelangelo used a brush to paint those breathtaking frescoes in the Sistine Chapel. Art uses a scalpel and a hatchet to craft his own form of body art. Body art? Terrifier 2 gives us gore galore and eye trauma that would make Lucio Fulci stand up and applaud. If he wasn't dead, of course. Now, I don't want to spoil any of the nastiness here, but let's just say that people get messed up really bad. The combination of practical effects combined with touches of CGI creates some rather impressive scenes of mutilation. Hell, even Art seems amazed by his own handiwork here, rejoicing in the levels of grotesquerie he's able to dish out. And honestly, I was pretty giddy too, practically egging Art on. I'm sure you've probably heard reports of people passing out, losing their lunch, or having some other extreme reaction to watching Terrifier 2 in the theater. And I'll give the movie this. Terrifier 2 is the most extreme mainstream horror film ever. And yes, I consider it mainstream. It's in theaters, isn't it? And it's about to be in even more theaters. Some of these reports are probably greatly exaggerated or just entirely fictitious, but they make great headlines on Bloody Disgusting. Am I right? When it comes to brutality and gore for me, it's all about the tone in which it's presented. There are movies that are brutal just for brutality's sake, because brutality is pretty much all they got going for them. And the makers of those films know that people will talk about how brutal their movie was and how hardcore they are for having withstood the brutality, because their favorite movie is a Serbian film and they eat brutality for breakfast. Then those guys go back to their mother's house and nuke a Hot Pocket or two before retiring to the basement and logging onto their favorite OnlyFans content creator's profile while holding their hentai body pillow. Imagine the things that body pillow has seen and had done to it. Now that's brutal. Terrifier 2 knows exactly what kind of movie it is, and aside from the occasional serious moment, is all about both providing and provoking the audience with a wild and grisly ride. No messages, no agendas, just fun horror. With Terrifier 2, David Howard Thornton has firmly established Art the Clown as a genre icon, no doubt. He was knocking on the door of that status after the last movie, but here, he dynamites that mother. Terrifier 2 adds some depth to Art without explaining anything, and Howerton slays it. He is so good in this role, and appears to be having a blast the entire time behind that makeup. I was all about crowning Terrifier 2 the horror movie of the year. Then my greatest concern reared its ugly head. Terrifier 2 goes on for way too long, and the last half hour is a slog to get through. Art chases after Rihanna, she seemingly kills him, then he chases after her some more, then she seemingly kills him again, then he chases after her again, and then a magical dagger comes into play. Seriously. Now don't get me wrong, I still thoroughly enjoyed Terrifier 2. It's one of my favorite movies of this year, hands down. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. 2022 is the year of Art the Clown. And props to Sarah Voigt. She delivers one of the most authentic portrayals of an emotionally and physically exhausted mother that I've ever seen. And I know what an emotionally and physically exhausted mother looks like. Just imagine raising Jeremy and me. Terrifier 2 is something else. And I loved it. See it. See it in the theater if possible. But you may need to bring a barf bag with you. If you've seen Terrifier 2, please let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments section below. Also, let me know what your favorite horror movie of this year so far has been. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Thank you to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and have a say in what content appears on my channel. Join me for monthly live streams and much more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.